When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'll be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible, I can pack my sack, I can take the long road, 'cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Arise, together there's no limit to what we can do. Arise, with no wings, fly. Arise, and we're so high, enjoy the view. Arise, look, no wings, fly.
This is Ariza, your financial freedom, your future.
To another edition of the Wake Up Club right here on the Ride Along Network. It's a terrific Tuesday in the Isle of Spice. Of course, I always encourage you to be grateful and to practice gratitude. So this morning, of course, I am thankful for the breath of life. I am thankful for the season. I'm hoping that we're going to see a really busy season because Carnival is in the air. It's around us. All the shows are around us. The build-up is happening. You have this Sunday, you have Lions All Mass happening down at the Youth Center. And of course, next week, we're into the semi-final round of competition for Groovy, Soca, and of course, Calypso. I hope you guys are supporting by going out to the events, going out to the Calypso tents. Of course, I'm going to bring you all the information right here on the Wake Up Club. A fantastic day in truth. This morning we have an incredible guest. Social media, you can't escape it. And of course, this morning I'm going to be chatting with social media strategist and digital project manager Kimron Corian. Listen, some of us love it. Some of us are afraid of it. But the truth is that we can't get away from it. Some are making a living from it. And unfortunately, some are destroying lives with it. So we're going to be discussing social media in full with someone who knows it like the back of his hand. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.
Welcome back. I want to say a special good morning to Betty Ann Court and of course Joanne Braffett Batson. Clubbers, we appreciate you. We know you have options, you have choices, and we appreciate that you're locked into the Wake Up Club via the Ride Along Network. Without further ado, I want to introduce my guest this morning and welcome my guest this morning. I'm speaking none other than social media strategist and of course, digital project manager Kimron Corian. Kimron, welcome to the Wake Up Club.
Thank you, Kirk. Thank you for the invitation to be here, and I'm excited to delve into this conversation about social media.
Well, listen, I think it's very important because it's something that I was afraid of for a long time, and I have ventured into it, and then I still have so many answers because there's so much information coming from every direction, and often you don't know what is real and what is not real, what is legit, and all these sort of things. But listen, of course, welcome to the Wake Up Club, and I like to feature Grenadians doing great things. So my first question to you is, Who is Kimron Corian? Where are you from? All of that. What makes you move?
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so Kimron Korean. I am born and bred in Paradise, St. Andrew.
Okay.
All my early years spent in Paradise. I went to SAS, then went on to TAMCC, left halfway through. Went on to pursue my studies in Mexico, did a bachelor's degree in economics, came back to Grenada, worked at Ariza Credit Union. I saw the Ariza ad pop up the first, brought back some memories of
Uh-huh.
my days there. I moved to Canada some years ago, which is where I currently reside. But I am always back and forth, so I feel like I live between the two spaces. I spent almost half my time there, half my time here. So this is for me has been an interesting journey. I have a master's degree in digital media. My digital journey started just before that, and now I fancy myself a digital communication consultant, social media strategist, just somebody who is fully involved in the digital space. I started off in finance, like I said, with Ariza, and did my first degree in economics, but then totally moved away from that world into the world of digital communication, digital media marketing, social media. This is the world that I am in right now. So pretty much what I do is I provide the expertise and the support that companies need to thrive in the digital space. So the marketing support, the marketing expertise that companies need to thrive in the digital and the social media space. So in a nutshell, that's Kimron Korean. That's what Kimron Korean is. And yeah.
Listen, when I told a lot of people I was going to speak with you, everybody was like, the question is like, make sure you ask him how do you grow your following? Because a lot of viewers are regular everyday people or people with small businesses looking to grow their following. And what I have noticed is that, even at some of the corporations I worked with before, everybody would have this plan for you to grow your following. I remember one company I was working with, and this guy in Grenada said, listen, I can help you grow your following for so much and so much amount of money. And I said, okay, no problem, let's do it. And I woke up the following morning and the numbers were incredibly high. But guess what?
I'm sure I know where you're going.
Everybody, when I went in individually to look at these new followers, they were all from Haiti.
What?
So there are a lot of people with these huge numbers, like, even I see people here with huge numbers, and when I look at the interactions and so forth, me with my small little base, I get more interaction, so tell us what is the best way to grow your following?
So I'm going to give an anti-response
Okay.
to that question, and because the focus on growing a following in today's is a bit of an outdated one. And the reason why I say that is having a large following today is more of it may not necessarily serve you the best way, the way that you think. And here's why I'm saying that. Social media has evolved. So in the beginning of social media, the larger your following, the better it was for your content to get seen. The better it was for you to promote your business. The better it was that whatever you put out there, it reaches the people. Because the platforms, you have a large following, they will share, they will send, let's say, your content to a certain percentage of your followers. If that initial percentage engage with it, then they will send it to a larger percentage. If those engage, they will send it to a larger, so maybe start with 2%, share it to an additional 5%, share it with an additional 15%, and it start growing. That's the reason why sometimes you post something today and it gets like 1,000 likes, 1,000 engagement. You post tomorrow, it might get 5 or 6 or 7, right? But today, ever since TikTok came on the scene, as a matter of fact, many of the social media platforms have been moving away from what is considered the social graph, the interaction between users to moving towards more what is called the interest graph. The interest graph meaning that they're not necessarily showing content to the people that are following you per se, but they are showing content to people that are interested in what you're saying. So we had the social graph, which focused on interaction between you and your followers, interaction between you and your users. And now we're kind of in the age of the interest graph, which is where they're showing your content to people that are interested in it. Hence, so that's the reason why I'm saying if there is a focus, like being overly focused on growing your following, is to me should not be the goal of any business right now. The goal should be on creating content that your audience actually wants to engage with, or creating content that even if you don't have an audience per se, but people that have an interest in what that content is, it will show up in their newsfeed. I don't know. People take a look at your social media or your Facebook newsfeed today, and I guarantee you will start seeing content from people that you don't follow. Content will be showing up in your newsfeed from people that you do not follow, and that is because you have engaged with something similar in the past. So the Facebook algorithm, the AI that guides that algorithm is saying, okay, Kirk seems to like content that speaks about Carnival or whatever. So let us show him content from people posting about Carnival, whether those people are in his network, in his community or not. So so that's the anti-response. Like, you should focus on content that anybody, whoever you want to reach, that they're interested in. But I do know that growing your following is people still want to have a large following so that they could stunt on the haters or whatever the case is. So while I don't think that should be the thing that you focus on, when it comes to growing your following, one of the things that you want to do is, one, having consistent content going up. It comes back to content again. Having consistent content going up. Consistency is key on social media, because if you're posting today and then you post something in maybe the next 3 or 4 weeks, then there isn't that a lot of engagement, interaction happening there. So somebody might see your stuff today, there's nothing for about 5 weeks. The algorithm is like, okay, well, this person is not serious, so they're not showing your content when you eventually do post it. So one, posting consistently. Two, ensuring that whatever you post, again, is of value to the people that you want to follow you. Not of value just to you, because sometimes we get carried away into thinking that we're going to post things that we are interested in, but you are not your audience. You may not even be a customer. So you have to focus on who is my customer and what can I post that will bring value to them and not value to you per se, because you're not your customer. So that's it. That's the two things that you want to focus on. And another thing is, not just trying to sell people, because you're a small business. Yes, you want to sell your you want to sell your products, you want to sell your services, and that's good. But people don't wake up and say, let me go on Facebook to see what Kirk is selling today. No, people go on Facebook to wake up to see, well, let me see what my friend posted, what my cousin posted. I hear somebody talking about West Indies get bowled for 27. Let me go and see what people talking about that. Like, that is what we go on social media for. We don't go on social media to buy. So if every time you're posting, it's all about buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my service, pay me money, give me money. It's all about you. There's no value there for your audience. So what you need to do is start providing value to your audience. So give them value, educate, entertain, inspire, put things out there. And then eventually, when you do have something to sell, guess what? It's very easy for them to make a decision, or very easy for them to follow you down. So that's what I would recommend in that regard.
Okay. Well, definitely. You answered my second question about the type of content and how it resonates with people. Okay, I've got to ask you this, though, because I see it a lot. I see a lot of deception and make-believe when I tune in. How important is authenticity in social media? Can someone still be successful by following a strategic approach, or do they need to focus on being genuine? And I know that's a double-edged sword because it's an entertainment at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So I think authenticity is key in social media, because what's going to happen? It has now become a bit challenging, difficult to try to say, well, this is my online persona and this is my offline persona. So this is who I am when I'm online. This is who I am when I'm offline. You and I would be on social media, and I mean, I'm active. I know you're active on social media.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come on social media and you try to portray, somebody that you're not in real
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you, I mean, I normally watch your videos when you're out with your friend, whether it's going on the beach, driving, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I see you in real life, let's say you and I walking on Grandlands Beach, and I see you, and the image I have in my head of you from what I see online, somebody who is friendly, approachable, somebody that I could say hi to, we have a conversation real quick. But then I see you and I say, hi, Kirk, and you snap at me, you push me aside, whatever the case is, then that creates friction. And now I no longer want to even engage with you, consume what you're doing online, because now what you are portraying online and who you are in real life, there's a big disconnect. And unfortunately, this separation between church and state, online, offline, where social media is concerned, no longer exists. People want authenticity. People want to be authentic. The Instagram and some of these visual platforms where people create a curated version of themselves or curated version of their life has given people the false sense that that's what's needed. Let's put something, a curated, well-designed, put together version of our life out there, and that is what people want. But no, that's not what people want. We have to be authentic in our dealing, because when you're not authentic, people are not stupid. People can tell when you're faking. People can tell when you're faking. And in the Grenadian community, it's a small community. Yeah, we're online, but then the same people that's online, this is the same people that engage with us in public. And sometimes they may not walk up to you and say hi, but when you walk, people see you. I'm pretty sure if you walk through St. George's, North Kirk, at least 90% of the people will know who you are, will know you.
They do.
Exactly. So they may not come up to you, but they could stand up and say, that's Kirk Sita Hall. Like, it's not everybody, right?
Everybody.
Right? Exactly. So imagine you online portraying one version of yourself, and then the same people watching you online is the same people that seen you in public and they're seeing something different. Once there is that disconnect there for them, then they start tuning you out. So authenticity is key. Now, you mentioned taking a strategic approach versus an authentic approach. I don't think it's an either-or situation here, because I think social media, you have to be strategic, but you have to be, while being strategic, you can't lose that authenticity in whatever strategic approach that you're taking. And strategy doesn't mean that you have to be fake. Strategy just means that, one, you know who you're creating content for. Two, you know, well, what type of content that they want. Three, you know that, okay, your audience is on X platform versus Y platform, because you don't have to be on every platform. So you know, okay, my audience is on Facebook, my audience likes X. So no, that's where the strategy comes in, and you're just not doing things wildly. But strategy cannot contrast with authenticity, because there must be authenticity within your strategy.
Most definitely, because sometimes I feel very pressured by it, because I want to be as authentic as possible, and sometimes I feel the pressure to post when really and truly I don't want to post anything. I remember Sunday past, everybody's calling me, what's happening? I want you to post. What's happening? You and your partner and go to the beach, and we were out, but I just did not feel that I wanted to do it, and sometimes I know the importance, as you said earlier, of posting consistently, but sometimes I don't have anything to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the type that will all the time I go and I eat something, I want to post it, or I do this, I want to post it. But I've got to ask you the question: what would you say are some of the common mistakes you see everyday users and aspiring influencers make, and how can we avoid them?
Right. So I just want to trick back a little bit to touch on something that you just said, which is where sometimes you say like you don't want to post because you don't have anything to say. And that's very important because some people post for posting's sake, and I think that's where things go down the drain. If you honestly, if you don't have something to say, then don't post. It also means that because in your case you're building a personal brand, you have a very strong and solid personal brand. So when you're posting something online, people look forward to it. They want to hear what you have to say. And if you don't have something to say, and you go and just do it just for the sake, just because you feel pressured into doing it, that will do more harm than good. So just wanted to touch back on that. Now, when it comes to the some of the mistakes that people make, especially aspiring influencers, there are a few mistakes that I have seen. One is choosing the wrong platform. Some people would choose a platform because they like it. They're like, oh well, I like Facebook or I like TikTok, so I'm going to be on TikTok or I'm going to be on Facebook. And it's not really about what you like; it's about what your audience is. So if you want to, let's say, you want to reach a particular audience, and you realize they skew younger, maybe 18 to 23, whatever the case is, 16, whatever, like that's a younger audience, so they're on TikTok. But you might tell yourself, I don't want to be on TikTok. It's this platform. It's for young people, whatever the case is. So you prefer to be on Facebook. But what if your audience is not on Facebook? So it's not about the platform that you want, but it's about the platform where your audience is. So that's the first thing. Try to get on the platform where your audience is. The next thing is it goes back to content, creating content that you are interested in, and totally ignoring your audience. And I mentioned that before. So you want to create content that people are interested in, that somebody's interested in, and don't fool yourself into thinking that because you like it or you're interested in it, that other people will be interested in it as well. So that's the next thing. The other thing, especially where influencers and so is concerned, is sometimes they get carried away. So you ask yourself, you're an aspiring influencer, but in what space, in what field, what exactly are you influencing on? Like, because the term influencer means that you have an influence over a particular audience in whether it's through entertainment, whether it's maybe something practical like cooking or whatever the case is. So what is it about you? And it goes back to being authentic, because you might want to be an influencer, so you start jumping on every trend you see. You start trying to do everything you see everybody doing. Somebody do a dance trend, you want to do the dance trend. Somebody do a this, you want to do it. Somebody do a that, but maybe that trend doesn't align with your brand or with who you are or with what you're trying to portray. So trying to jump on everything could hurt you more than it could give you any kind of credibility in what you're doing. So that's the next thing. Just don't try jumping on every trend that you see, especially if you're an aspiring influencer. But also you need to ask yourself: are you actually an influencer, or an aspiring influencer, or are you a content creator, or are you a thought leader? Like, really differentiate which one. For example, like with me, my whole aim is to be a thought leader. I want to be somebody that when I post online, I get people to think. I can educate people. I can speak about whether it's social media, artificial intelligence, whatever the case is, and people can get value from it. People can learn from it. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm not trying to be out there, trying to build like this huge audience as an influencer. I am more interested in being a thought leader. So ask yourself, which one is it? Because there's a subtle difference. It's similar, but there are subtle differences, whether you want to be a thought leader, an influencer, or a content creator. So that's the next thing that you want to decide as you proceed.
Most definitely. I've got to ask you this because, it's something that I hear a lot from people, and I see the effects on it on some people who are not strong enough. How does someone handle negative criticism on social media? Because people can be brutal. You're sharing your ideas, you're living your life, and there are people who I don't listen. Human nature is a funny and fascinating thing. That there's some people who will have a different opinion, but they're very brutal with it. How would you recommend? Well, I don't know if it's a recommendation, but let's talk about negative criticism on social media.
So here's the thing. This the way that this is handled is something that's more internal, something that really it deals with the individual. Social media is or it could be, I should say, a very nasty place. I'm gonna tell you now, once you decide to put something out on social media, once you decide to share your thoughts on anything, once you decide that you want to become somebody that have any kind of influence, that want to make any kind of impact, and you're using social media to do it, you have to prepare yourself for the negativity, because it's not if it will come, it's when it comes. And negativity will come. But so two ways I deal with it. One is if I make a post and somebody makes a comment, and that comment is something that is disrespectful, degrading, it doesn't really it's not because they misunderstand what I said, but they just come to attack me and to cuss me off or whatever the case is. I don't engage with that, and I remove it. But also there's another part of it where I might post something and somebody might genuinely misunderstand what I say. They genuinely disagree with me, and they post and they send it. And it's my job now to say, okay, I realize that there is some misinformation here, or you misunderstood what I said. So let me clarify. Now I go 3 rounds of boxing on social media. I post something, wrong 1. You reply with something negative or whatever, and if I think that negativity warrants a response, or you're not being necessarily disrespectful per se, but it's just because you genuinely don't agree with me because of a difference of philosophy, of perspective, how we see things, life experiences, or whatever, then and so then you respond that's wrong too. Then I respond to you clarifying what I meant or what I need to say. Wrong 3, game over for me. I don't respond to that period after that, because now you just delve into a one long back and forth, and you'll lose the essence of what the original thing was. So that's one thing. But the other thing as well in dealing with negativity is you have to understand. Half of the people, not half, almost like a large percentage of the people that are commenting negatively on your content are people that you don't know and people that don't know you. I am not giving life to something posted by somebody sit down in their living room, in their basement, in wherever, that don't know me, that decide, okay, they want to just spew negativity, whatever, my way. I'm not giving life to that. I find it, and it took me a while to get to this place, obviously, because it's not something that you wake up one day and decide you're going to do. But I have chosen to not, like, it's hard for me to see somebody comment something online. That person don't know me. I don't know them. Like, we're not friends. We're not colleagues. We're not connected in any way, shape, or form. And then take what they say to heart. You don't know me like that. And I'm not giving life to some random person and what they post on social media. But but you have to develop yourself, your mental toughness where that is concerned. And if you're gonna post anything on social media, you have to know, hey, the negatives will come. If you don't want the negatives to come your way, then don't post on social media, period. So there is no getting away from it. There is no everybody's not gonna like you. You don't even like everybody. Right? So everybody's not going to like you. Sometimes we see people You find,
Nah.
yeah, that person, I mean, spirit and give with them, like old
Yeah.
folks will say. That's just a natural part of life. The same thing, somebody would see you and say the same thing. I know everybody don't like me, and I'm okay with it. So, I mean, it's just a matter of like having mental toughness and understanding that negativity will come your way, and putting yourself in a position, developing your having confidence, having that confidence in yourself to know that, hey, I'm not gonna let somebody with negative opinions, negative thoughts deter me.
Most definitely. Now, listen, as you spoke about that, I know that many people struggle with finding balance between their online presence and their personal life. What advice do you have for maintaining that balance while still being active on social media?
So, so here's the thing with that.
Uh-huh.
I choose to share, or I choose to put the aspects of my life and myself out there that I want people to know.
Okay.
So in
Mhm.
some instances,
Mhm.
yes, you do have situations where there are some aspects of your life that you want to remain personal, and there are aspects of my life that is personal that people don't know about me, and that is by design. Not everything, like I said earlier on, like if I'm out eating or interacting with somebody, I'm not posting. Nobody's gonna know that. That's not a part of my life that I want to share per se. So
Mhm.
I think it's one has to ask themselves, what are you comfortable with sharing? What are you comfortable? What are the aspects of your life that you're comfortable with putting out there? And what are the aspects of your life that you do not want going out there? So for instance, um, for the last, I have two daughters. I
Mhm.
I I I make mention of my daughters regularly on social media. But if you go back for the last maybe 5 or so years, you will not see a single picture,
Okay.
right? Um, and that's by design. No, I'm like, if there's a milestone, like when my wife graduated, we had a family photo, and I post saying congratulations to my wife, and you will see something there. But I have deliberately chosen to stop, because sometimes every time I will post the birthdays, this, that, blah blah blah, I keep posting, so showing like their development over the years. And I've decided to stop because, again, social media could be a very nasty place, and I don't want any negativity being hurled at my kids or anything like that. So that's that part of my life, like putting the image out there like that, like on a regular basis or whatever. I've stopped doing that about 5 or 6 years ago, right?
Mhm.
So whenever I travel, there are people that you're on the airport. There's a picture. As soon as you land, there is a picture or a video. I don't post whenever I'm traveling anymore, like deliberately. I don't. I'm not trying to
Mhm.
hide. It's just a part of me that I want to keep to myself. I want that's my experience for me. So I'm not necessarily sharing that part to the world. So it's really about understanding which aspect of your life that you want to put out there, and which aspect that you think should be kept private. Now, everyone is different, so there is no right or wrong answer. There is no nothing saying that you should share your kids versus you should not share your kids. It's more a personal decision, and it's more something all about you. But the one thing I would say though is, while I will share certain aspect of my life that I want to put public and keep others that I don't want to. There is a very thin line between personal, private, and life and your online life. For the very reason
Mhm.
that people may not. Yes, there are certain things when it comes to the online space that you may not post per se, or you may not do per se, but the same people that are online watching you, that's watching the Wake Up Club, are the
Mhm.
same people that when I'm walking on Grandlands Beach or I'm walking through Grenville, the same people that I'm interacting with. So again, there is no me trying to create this version of me online, and then when I'm offline, people see the real me. There's not that there. So social media has pretty much removed that barrier, removed the separation between your so-called personal and private life and your public life. So it's just a matter of, okay, yes, people are gonna, if I'm walking with my kids, people are gonna see them, people are gonna know them. Yes, that's okay. But I'm not necessarily gonna be, whenever I would post a picture of them online, because that's a personal choice, a personal decision that I've made. So that's where it is. And then at the end of the day, I also don't want people tracking me, tracking my kids, knowing what school they go to, knowing where they are, because you have to protect them. You have to ensure that they're safe as well. And the online space could be a very nasty place. So
yeah, most definitely. You know, and started social media, and I'm in the public, and I've been in the public before getting onto social media, so people knew me. But now I find, like, if I'm on Grand Anse Beach or I'm just walking in the mall, people really feel they know me.
yep,
And people will actually stop me to tell me all their problems and want advice right there and then. And it can be good if you're somebody driven by ego,
yeah,
but it can also be a pressure to be able to carry everybody's burden.
yeah. That's called parasocial relationship.
Uh-huh.
Bert. That's called parasocial relationship, where people, especially for somebody like yourself,
Uh-huh.
where people they've developed a bit of a relationship with you because of your public persona, your online presence. That's the reason why you ever feel like, for example, like certain celebrities or actors and so, that you feel like you know them, you know all different aspects of their life. Like you feel like when you see them, you're like you could speak about them with authority because you know everything about them.
Yeah.
It's because you have developed a one-sided relationship with that person. That person don't necessarily know you, they don't know anything about you, but because they are in the public, because they are on your screens almost every day, you have and then they're seeing you in different spaces. They're seeing you on the Wake Up Club. They might see you on just when you post regularly. They might see you because you might be featured in something else. Like they keep seeing you. And I think, and there's actually a science behind it that said something about once people have engaged with you online for a certain number of hours, and for somebody like you who have been online for like not just online but have been known for a very long time, we see you on TV, we see you on social media. It's
Yeah.
very easy for somebody to develop that one-sided relationship with you, which is called parasocial relationship. So when they see you now, it's like they're not seeing, Mr. Sita Hall, who is on TV, that, is somebody like a stranger. They're seeing somebody that they know. They're seeing maybe a friend, a confidant. You don't see them that way because you don't know them. But they're seeing you that way because they have developed that one-sided parasocial relationship with you.
Most definitely. Listen, it has been taxing, and there have been times where I have said to myself, listen, I can't do this anymore, because, you're offering advice, you're offering constructive thoughts and so forth, but people also see you as somebody that can save them,
Yeah,
or somebody that they can exploit.
correct.
So we've got to listen. It'll be a conversation we go on forever. But let me tell you something. The one thing that I was living in fear of, and I'm still living in fear of, while I've dabbled in it because I know that I can't escape it, is AI. Okay? So we must talk about artificial intelligence. At first, I was hesitant, and to be honest, I'm still not so totally sold on it, even though I know I have to be. How can AI tools help everyday users and aspiring influencers improve their social media presence and streamline their content? And I know there's a lot to talk about AI, so I may not ask a question, but I ask you to give me the answer.
Right. Yeah. So artificial intelligence. That's the big one. That's the new technological shift that we are facing. And so here's the thing.
Yeah.
For for everyday people using AI, I think that we have to use AI to be a little bit more efficient, because with AI there are some tasks that AI is very that those mundane repetitive tasks that we do on a daily basis also. I think we can find ways of doing these things more efficiently and to save time. That's a big thing. We want to use AI to be more efficient and to save time. So, for example, if you know you normally have to write, let's say, a press release, and you would normally take maybe 2, 3, 4 hours to write a press release because you have to sit down, come up with the words, whatever the case is. You just have to put together your thoughts, put it in a platform like a Gemini or a ChatGPT, give it the instructions, you get a press release in a minute. No, you have to go in and edit and make sure it makes sense to you and whatever you want. So artificial intelligence is really about being more efficient. It's really about being able to save time, and it's really about doing things and exploring things that you may not have been able to do before because you did not have the skill set. So overall, that's the way it is. When it comes to like influencers, content creators, and people wanting to use artificial intelligence to build a brand on social media, first thing first, I would say that don't be afraid of AI. You need to know exactly what do you want to do. So first also, so it doesn't start with AI. It starts with knowing and understanding what exactly you want to do, doing an audit of what you do on a daily basis. And then once you know what you do on a daily basis, okay, so you know that you create graphics, you edit videos, you whatever you do as a content creator or even a small business or whatever. Audit what you do on a daily basis. And then ask yourself, which one of these tasks can be automated using AI? Is it creating graphics? Maybe. So maybe you need to create an image. So no, you have tools like Gemini, you have tools like ChatGPT, you have tools like Ideogram that can create those images for you within a short period of time. And the thing is, you can create. You know how sometimes you might ask the AI tool to create an image for you with text on it, and it might spell words wrong, get text on so wrong. You can now take that AI output, put it into Canva, a Canva AI, and edit text, edit any element of that graphic that you want. So sometimes I will ask ChatGPT, so the DALL-E 3 image creator inside ChatGPT, to create an image for me. It creates the image, it gets certain things wrong, and I will just take that image wholesale, put it into Canva AI, and Canva AI allows me to edit using its AI Studio. So I can edit text, I can remove certain things, and I can add something else. Like so you need to find ways to be a little bit more efficient using AI. So what do I do on a daily basis, and how can I use AI to help automate certain parts of it? Now, the one thing that you do not want to do is automate or try to automate the creative and the strategic process, because the human has to be the creative catalyst and the strategic person guiding the AI, telling the AI what you want to do, and how to do it. For I am seeing a barrage of like AI generated garbage content on social media on a daily basis, and you could know some of those AI generated content because there are certain words that ChatGPT would use, and the moment I see them in something that's posted, I'm like, okay, well, that's ChatGPT. Or ChatGPT loves putting emojis in when you ask it to write a caption for you, and the moment I might see something like a bunch of emojis in a post, I know, okay, that came from ChatGPT. So the problem is people don't, like, people will ask ChatGPT to create something and they will take it wholesale and post it, or they will take it wholesale and do something with it. They're not putting their brand voice, they're not like editing, they're not doing anything, and they just copy the thing wholesale and post it in there, and that to me is problematic. I mean, we can sit down here and talk about how to use AI for the rest of the day, but but overall, I would say to just figure out which part of your operation can be automated and automate that part while you focus on doing the parts that requires the human creativity and the strategic thinking to make it make sense.
Mm-hmm. With the rise of AI in social media, what ethical considerations should a person or a business keep in mind when using AI-driven strategies? Because, like for example, one of our followers who tuned in, Betty and Court, she says there needs to be laws for protection from AI.
So when it comes to like ethical consideration and so AI is concerned, no, that's a big one. So and there are a couple of negatives. Well, I mean there are negatives as it pertains to AI. But first thing first is one, people should not try to pass off AI generated content as their own things that they did or they wrote. So businesses who are using AI should be open about the fact that they're using AI. Like I use AI to create images, to do whatever. And sometimes you will see me post. I will post something, a image or something that I created, and I will say like, "Oh, I created this using Gemini. I created this using whatever. Do you want to see how I did it or whatever the case is?" So the first thing is trying to pass off AI generated content as something that you created. To me, that there's some ethics in there. But there's some one of my biggest concern with AI is that AI is trained on data and content that is human generated. So whether it's books that were written, articles, blog posts that were written by human, it's trained on human generated content. So the output that you're getting is taken from millions of data points that came from an actual human. Now, the human, they have the content out that's public. Now, they're not being compensated in any way, shape, or form for AI being trained on their work. That's the reason why right now there are certain lawsuits and so in place with people who are saying, well, AI trained on my copyrighted material, my book or whatever the case is. I did not give permission for it to be trained on using my copyrighted material. So there's some ethical and even legal consideration there as well. But like I was saying, one of the biggest things for me now is because AI is trained on public facing content, and now there are so much public facing content generated by AI. Eventually, like I feel like we're gonna get to the place where the AI is now being further trained on its own output. So now we because everybody's now people hardly creating content from using this anymore, like using their mind, their mindset, and really thinking through what they want to do, thinking through they're going through their thought processes. They're creating content based on what the AI tell them. So now if AI is being trained on publicly available data, and the publicly available data is AI generated, now you're being trained on the content that you create. So now it's like so now you see where the problem comes in. And then the next piece is we have some of the negatives such as the deep fix. So you and I speaking here now, somebody can clone my voice, what I'm saying, and make a video with me saying other things that I never said. We have there are tools like 11 Labs and other tools where people can use to like clone voices and so and do things with it or put videos and put content out there with you saying things or with you in compromising position that you were never in or things that you never said. I said before when I spoke to the Media Workers Association of Grenada, the police were there, and I mentioned that now the police have a task ahead of them, because now when somebody say, well, I have evidence, I have video-based evidence, or I have a picture showing Cook doing XYZ, no, you can't just run with it and say, well, because I have a video showing Cook or showing Kimron stealing from this shop or showing Kimron engaging in some kind of compromising activity, that don't necessarily mean that you can just accept it wholesale as is anymore. You have to, the first thing you have to do is check the veracity. Is this a legitimate video? Is this a legitimate image? And you have to know what are all the markers and so of a legitimate versus a deep fake. So now we have those challenges, and where laws are concerned, um, I have not seen, like, to be honest, much laws in place where AI is concerned. Most of it has to do, that the laws that are in place has to do with like copyrighted work, and whether I'm getting compensation for people when the AI is trained on their data, when AI is trained using their work. That's what happened. But uh, people we have to be very careful, because people are using AI in nefarious ways to do things. We have different scams coming out, phishing scam, telling you, oh, click on this link, or do this, or we have AI generated videos of celebrities endorsing products that they've never endorsed before. And this could happen to any one of us. Like, I'm pretty sure that you would have seen certain ads on Facebook. I'm talking about actual ads that people are paying to run on Facebook, showing. I saw one with the prime minister, where the prime minister was promoting something that was a scam. I saw one with the leader of His Majesty's opposition. I saw a couple with some of the journalists in Grenada. I think I saw one with Mikey one time. Like,
Yeah.
people are actually using AI to generate these. Like, so we have to be extremely, extremely careful, and we have to question everything that we see right now.
Most definitely. For someone like me, and maybe someone tuning in right now, I'm now getting into the AI. Okay. I avoided it for a long time because I was like, I can write a press release, I can write a letter, you know, but I can't keep that mindset because AI, unfortunately, will replace me.
Yep.
Which I don't even want you to ask you to which brands have you found useful and you would recommend? Because there's so many different apps out there.
Right.
Like, you're talking image creator, and I have never seen that. I know it's there.
Oh, right.
I use Canva. What are some of the reputable AI apps that you would recommend? And for
Okay.
somebody like me, a beginner.
Right. So before I answer that, let me just touch on something that you just said.
Yeah.
And as it relates to, let's say, you know what? No, wait. Let me touch on the tools first. So there are different tools for different things. So it depends on what you want to do, right? So there are tools such as, if you want to write copy, you like write press release, write a letter, write whatever, then you have tools like ChatGPT. You have tools like Gemini. You have tools like Claude. Like, those are your tools and those are the credible tools that you can write with. Now, most of these tools are multimodal, meaning that they can do multiple things.
Okay.
Right? So you want to write, copy.ai, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. That's that's where you go. You want to create images. You have Midjourney. Is an image creator. You have the same ChatGPT. ChatGPT now has one of the best image creators that's on the market. You can literally just tell ChatGPT you want to create a flyer to promote whatever, and it will create a flyer for you. And if you have any issues with the flyer, with text or whatever, then you put that in Canva AI. And you can edit it using Canva AI. So image creation, ChatGPT, same Gemini, Ideogram, which is one of my favorite image creators right now. If you want to create audio, you want to do voice over work or something like that, then 11 Labs is your go-to. 11 Labs, and you can create audio. You can just you put the text, and it spits out the text for you as an MP3, an audio. If you want to, what else? Let's say you want to do a video. You can use tools like Pictory, Pictory, Pictory AI, and all you need to do is you pretty much give it the script that you want, and it will add. It will take just take the text, the script, and it will create a full video for you, just like that. It's literally text to video. So I don't know if you've gone on YouTube and you'll see certain faceless, what you call faceless video. It's not a person, you're just hearing a voice, somebody speaking. You might see text on the screen, and then you'll see the B-roll, different B-rolls, different images and videos in the background. You can create that using Pictory. Like, just literally give it the text and it does everything. It add the voice, it add music, it add everything, right? So for video, you have Pictory. If you want to create video clips, then one of the best on the market right now is VO3 from Gemini. So that's VO3 from Gemini. You can literally create video clips, just like B-roll clips. So let's say you're doing a video, you want to add some B-rolls behind it. You don't have the B-roll. You can literally generate the B-roll that you need using VO3. And also using Sora from ChatGPT, but Sora is VO3 is the go, and you can literally, I can literally have somebody saying, join the Wake Up Club tomorrow because we have Kimron Korean coming on. You can literally have do a video with somebody saying that using VO3. It's really good. And yeah, so these are some of the tools that if you want to create a presentation, like a full presentation, we talk about slides, text on screen, images, and so there are image tools. There are tools for that as well. And the one that I use is called Gamma. So with Gamma.app, Gamma GAMMA.app, one of my favorite tools actually. I would write my presentation. So I would say, okay, what I want on every slide. No, you can use ChatGPT to do that as well. You can go to ChatGPT or Gemini and say, I'm creating a presentation on AI or whatever the case is. This is what I want to create. It will create the outline for you, give you the text for the slides. Obviously, you have to go in and make sure it makes sense because AI hallucinates, meaning that it could give you fake or false information. There's a lawyer in Canada that got in trouble for citing a fake case study that he got from ChatGPT. Got in serious trouble for that, right? So you must go in and check, and then you can use that. Put your information in the Gamma, just put the text, and it will create a full PowerPoint presentation for you without you having to sit and go through and style and edit every slide, put the image, none of that. You just put it and it creates everything for you. One of my favorite. And then there's a tool called Notebook LM, which is where you can load a bunch of different sources. Sources meaning like a PDF document, like a 1,000-page PDF, links to websites, YouTube videos. You can load them into Notebook LM and you can extract insights from them. So it say, okay, well I have. So one of the things how I used it the last time was during the last budget debate. The budget document is too long, and I don't want to sit down and read it. So I just put it in I download it from online, put it in Notebook LM, and say, tell me what is the allocation for agriculture. Tell me what is the allocation for this. Tell me what is this. Compare, and then I would load something like multiple documents on a similar topic, and you can say, tell me the like for example, like with the budget, tell me what was the allocation in last year versus this year, and they will tell me. Tell me what is the difference between this, or if I have two different books, tell me what this book said versus what that book said about this particular topic. So that's Notebook LM. And then the last thing I want to mention is within the AI tools, like whether you're using ChatGPT, whether you're using Gemini, whether you're using Perplexity because for research, there is a tool called Deep Research. So within those platforms, there is something called Deep Research, which is where once you turn on Deep Research for a particular topic, the AI tool will go and do like you said, like a full-on deep research, browse, search the internet, search every website, everything it will find, and give you like a full-on like 30-page report about on that topic. Like this thing is just great. That's one of my favorite features on there. But going back to one of the things that you said, and I will wrap up and on that piece this particular thing, because I could talk about the different tools forever, right? You mentioned you mentioned that users like being AI will replace you and so on and so forth, and the truth is that yes, if you're let's say you write press releases and that's what you do, and you decide I don't want to get into this AI thing, you're gonna be replaced. But it's not that you'll be replaced by AI, but you will be replaced by somebody using AI, because there needs to be somebody to tell the AI what to do. There need to be the human has to be the creative catalyst, the strategic mindset, the strategic mind to guide AI, because you put in garbage, you will get out garbage, right? So the human has to be there. So which means that you're not being replaced by the AI per se, but you're being replaced by somebody using AI, which is why I encourage people to learn more about artificial intelligence, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of it.
Okay, most definitely. Listen, we're out of time, but I need to at least ask you one more question. We have Betty Ann also saying, could you please write those apps or tools so one can do their own AI content? So if you get some chance later on, even on your own page, or send me a message with some of those recommended tools. Now, parting words. You are the person, the expert here. Parting words of wisdom for us, everyday users, social media, and we wrap up here.
Okay, absolutely. So the one thing I would say is that where social media is concerned, just and I don't even want to focus on just social media, but like technological shift. Every time there's a new technology shift, we get scared of it. We worried about it. We try to we fight it in the beginning, and then eventually we got there. When social media was new, it was the same thing. AI is the same thing. One thing we have to understand is, since the beginning of time, we've seen shift within with technology. If you were to go back to when people were working the land, you had a lot of workmen on the land. You might have 100 people plowing and doing whatever, and then the tractor came in, and everybody got worried and said, "Oh, the tractor coming to take my job," which it kind of did. It displaced people, but then because of the efficiencies that came in from the tractor, you were able to build factories, and people start working in factories. And so now, so the people that no longer had jobs on the land, they're now working in the factories. And then within factories, you had automation happening. So some people are saying, "Oh, well, I'm losing my job," but then guess what? They were displaced from the factories because of automation, and it went somewhere else. Same thing within media. We had, for example, we had the print media, and then we had radio disrupting the print media, not replacing but disrupting. And then we had TV disrupting, not replacing radio. We had now we have social media, the internet, AI disrupting all of this, not replacing it, right? So there is the shift and the change is going to happen. In the next 10 years, consumer attention may not even be on social media. So we may not even be focused on social media. So what I'm going to say to you is, don't be afraid of the tools that are coming, but don't be too bogged down with the tools. I'm a social media guy. Yes. I'm a social media strategist. Yes. But guess what? If tomorrow social media is gone, I'm going to be a strategist of the new thing, because I'm going to adapt to it, because I know, okay, where is the attention? Where is consumer attention? As a small business, that's what we have to think. Where is the consumer attention? Is the attention here? Is it there? And that's where we need to be. So don't get too bogged down by the tools, but at the same time, don't be afraid of it, because it's going to keep changing. It's going to keep changing.
Listen, Kimron, I want to thank you for taking your time this early morning to join us and share a wealth of information. We could talk for the rest of the day because this thing is huge. Listen, I appreciate you taking your time, sharing the information with us. You definitely won't be a stranger to the Wake Up Club now, because definitely anytime I need a tip and trick, I'm going to be reaching out.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you for joining us. Betty Ann says, thanks, Kirk, and your guests for a healthy and wonderful conversation. Definitely. It's a terrific Tuesday, folk. Listen, a lot happening. Kimron in Canada, right?
Yep, right now.
Okay. We're here. Kimberly, you're going to be missing out Spice Mask. But because of technology, you could tune in from wherever you are. You know? Folks, thank you for joining us on the Wake Up Club. I want to remind you, this Sunday, all mass down at the Youth Center. Next week, we start the semi-final round of competition for soca, groovy, and calypso. Make sure you're going out and support the tents out there. Listen to some good kaiso. Listen, it's Spice Mask, it's We Thing. I want to wish you guys a terrific Tuesday, and I will see you again on Friday. I want to thank all of you for tuning in, for the comments, for the constructive criticism. We appreciate you. Have a good one. Bye.
Calling the CARICOM community, assembling Global Africa, the 4th edition of the Afri-Caribbean Trade Investment Forum. Active 2025 is coming to St. George, Grenada, this 28th to 29th July. Join government and business leaders, investors, and trade and finance institutions to explore the theme, resilience and transformation, enhancing Africa-Caribbean economic cooperation in an era of global uncertainty. Be there as we stand together to strengthen our commercial ties, to promote shared trade and investment opportunities, and unlock prosperity for Africa, the Caribbean, and the wider diaspora. The 4th Afri-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum. Reserve your place now at active2025.com.
Celebrating 40 years is a significant milestone that often evokes reflection, gratitude, and recognition of accomplishment.
Feeling very excited about it. When I reflect on it, some artists took 10 to 15 years before they get through. They keep knocking at the door. The first time the nation heard about the Limers Gilbert, they show me that love. They show me that respect. They go crazy over the beats. They go crazy over the excitement. They go crazy over the rhythm. And I appreciate that.
Sunday, August 3rd at the Progress Park in St. Andrew. It's Specky 40. Tickets available from gotofed.com. Presented by Limers Gilbert in association with the Spice Mask Corporation and Sedu.
Who want to jam a jamming too?
Hi, I want $10 on Playway, $20 backup on Pick 3, and cash for each, please. Okay, are you adding Multi-X to your bet? Yes, Multi-X, all of them. Smart! Best value bet. Backup and Multi-X, you cannot go wrong. Don't matter the bet, Multi-X all of the daily games.
With Multi-X added, your winnings can be multiplied 3 times, 5 times, even 7 times. So make it a rule. Add Multi-X to all your Playway, daily Pick 3, and daily cash for bets every day and for every drop, and watch your money grow. Available at stores and online.
You heard it here. Multiply your winnings daily. Must be 18 or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or visit beacongrenada.com.